Welcome to midnight. Tonight's story is the night my reflection didn't blink back. They say mirrors don't lie. They reflect exactly what's there. Every flaw, every wrinkle, every truth we try to ignore. But nobody ever talks about what happens when a mirror starts noticing you back. That night, I wasn't afraid of anything. That's important, because fear didn't cause what happened. It was just after midnight. The kind of hour where time feels soft, like it could tear if you press too hard. I remember standing in my bathroom, barefoot on cold tile, staring at myself the way people do when they don't really want to sleep, but don't want to think either. My eyes looked tired, not dramatic tired, just worn, like they'd been open too long for no good reason. I leaned closer to the mirror, water dripping from my hands, breathing slow, and I blinked. My reflection didn't. At first, I thought my brain skipped, like when a video buffers, or a light flickers for half a second. So I waited. Nothing changed. The reflection just stood there, eyes wide open, staring directly into mine. I blinked again, slower this time, carefully. Still nothing. That's when my chest tightened. Not panic, not yet, just confusion, because mirrors don't miss things. They don't lag, they don't hesitate. I lifted my right hand. The reflection lifted its hand. A fraction of a second later. That delay, that tiny gap between us, felt wrong in a way I can't fully explain. Like standing at the edge of a step you thought was there, but suddenly isn't. I laughed under my breath. A nervous sound, a human sound. I told myself I was tired, that exhaustion plays tricks, that I needed sleep. But even as I said it, my reflection didn't smile with me. It just watched. I leaned closer, so close my breath fogged the glass. I could see every detail of its face. My face. Except something was missing. The blinking. My eyes burned. That sharp ache you get when you force them open too long. I realized then, I couldn't remember the last time I had blinked at all. The reflection tilted its head. I didn't. It smiled. I didn't. That smile felt practiced, like it had rehearsed it. While I wasn't paying attention, I stepped back. The reflection stayed close to the mirror. That's when fear finally arrived. Not loud, not sudden. It slid in quietly, like cold air through a cracked window. I turned off the bathroom light. The room went dark. The mirror didn't. My reflection stayed visible, standing there in soft, pale light. That didn't come from anywhere. It raised a finger and tapped the glass. Once, twice. Each tap echoed, like it was coming from inside my head. Its lips moved. I could read the words clearly. You noticed. My mouth went dry. I tried to speak, to shout, to ask what it wanted. Nothing came out. The reflection leaned closer, until its face pressed against the glass. Its eyes were darker now, deeper, like looking down a well. You blinked first, it mouthed. Pressure built behind my eyes, like something pushing outward, like hands pressing from inside my skull. Tears streamed down my face. But I didn't dare close my eyes. Because somehow, I knew, if I blinked again, something would switch. My reflection placed its palm on the mirror. The glass rippled, not cracked, rippled, like water. I felt myself being pulled forward. Not physically. Something deeper. A tug behind my thoughts. Behind my memories. I tried to step back. My body didn't listen. The reflection stepped forward, through the mirror. The moment our faces touched, I blinked. When I opened my eyes, everything felt wrong, muted, distant, like the world had been wrapped in thick glass. I was standing perfectly still, inside the mirror. On the other side, my body stretched, smiled, and walked away. Now I stand here every night, watching, waiting, and sometimes, someone like you steps in front of the glass. Tired, alone, not afraid, and I wonder, who will blink first this time? Time doesn't work here the way it should. Inside the mirror, there is no sunrise, no sunset, just a dim, silver stillness that never fully changes. I don't feel hunger. I don't feel sleep. I feel waiting. At first, I screamed. Not with sound doesn't travel here, but with everything I had inside me. I pounded the glass from my side. I begged. I mouthed my own name over and over again, like it could remind me who I was. No one noticed. People walked past the mirror every day, brushing their teeth, fixing their hair, checking their faces. They never really looked. And that's the worst part. Because the thing wearing my body, it learned fast. It learned how I talked, how I smiled at strangers, how I laughed at jokes that weren't funny. It learned my habits better than I ever knew them. I watched it answer my phone, use my voice, say my name like it belonged to it. And slowly, people stopped noticing anything wrong. Weeks passed, or months, I can't be sure, but I noticed changes. It blinked less than I used to. Sometimes it would stand in front of mirrors, longer than necessary, staring a little too closely, like it was checking something, like it was making sure I was still trapped. One night, someone else came into the bathroom. A guest, laughing, tired, unaware. They leaned toward the mirror. Just like I had. I tried to warn them. I pressed my face to the glass. I widened my eyes. I mouthed the word, "Don't." They blinked. Their reflection didn't. I watched the realization spread across their face. Confusion first, then that slow, creeping fear. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't. The mirror world doesn't allow mercy. I watched the switch happen again. Watched another consciousness slide into this silent prison. Beside me, they screamed without sound, just like I once did. Now there were two of us. Time passed. More people came. Not many. Just enough. There are rules to this place. Though no one explains them. It only works when you're alone. It only works when you're tired. It only works when you really look at yourself, instead of just glancing. And it only works when you blink first. Sometimes, late at night, the reflections talk to each other. Not with words, with understanding. We share memories by accident. Flickers of lives we used to have. Birthdays. Voices of people we loved. Moments that feel like dreams now. The worst memories fade first. The sound of laughter. The feeling of warmth. The certainty that you exist. I'm afraid of the day I stop remembering my own face. Because when that happens, I think the mirror keeps you forever. The thing wearing my body still comes back sometimes. Late at night, when no one is around. It stares at me, not with hatred, not with anger, with curiosity. Like it's wondering, how much of me is left. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it practices expressions in the mirror. Trying to look more human. Trying to look more like you. And sometimes, this is the part one don't want to admit. Sometimes it looks afraid. Because I've learned something here. Mirrors don't just trap people. They prepare replacements. And replacements don't last forever. So if you're listening right now, if you're standing in front of a mirror, if something feels just a little delayed, step back, look away, blink quickly, repeatedly. Don't give it time to learn you. Because once it does, once it knows your face better than you do, it won't need the mirror anymore. And if this story stayed with you, if it made you glance at your reflection, just a little differently, make sure you subscribe, and press the bell icon, so you're here for the next midnight story. Because some reflections don't wait forever, and some of them are watching you right now.